Hi, how are you doing? I know what you're thinking. Ooh, I can't wait to see what this guy's cooking up today. First off, I want to say happy Easter to everyone watching, for those celebrating, for those that are not, that have a few extra days off, and hope you're enjoying time with your family and friends. Either way, hope you're doing something that makes you feel good about yourself today. All right. I like to get out of my comfort zone, and one of the things I'm learning to do is cook. So I thought today might be a perfect opportunity to make, because it's Easter, I'm going to make scallop potatoes with onions and cheese. Are you ready? Are you ready? So what I did was I did do some prep work because I wanted to do as little as possible today. So what we're going to do is this. I'm going to cut these potatoes into thin slices, about a quarter of an inch thick, right? So you can kind of see how that is. I like them a little bit thinner because I don't like it's nothing worse than when you're eating like scalloped potatoes and it's like hard. It's like a big hard piece of potato. And that's kind of gross. Or a burger and there's a hard chunk in it. And you just want to throw up. But anyways, so I always try to do it like that. I don't know if I'm going to let this be. I might prep some and come back to you because as much as I don't like to edit anything. I like to film them on continuous stream, but I also know having me cut a bunch of potatoes isn't probably the most fun in the world either. But we'll see how things are going. Because while we're talking about Easter, one of the things I find is that, like, growing up, I saw a lot of movies, things like that, right? Lots of that kind of stuff. So, okay, whatever. Sorry about that. We had some technical difficulties. Just as I was talking about how much I don't like to edit. So, what I've decided to do is this. I'm going to cut these up and I'm going to have a quick conversation with myself. But you can hear it. Because I was thinking about, okay, Ten Commandments. I used to love that movie. I was a bit of a dork as a kid. All right. As a kid, as I say. So now I'm like, okay, is there Easter movies? There's some real shit movies. Like there's Hop. Don't even get me started on that Peter Rabbit. I think that's because I have a thing about James Corden. I don't like him. Anyways, I was thinking Hop wasn't bad. Now that I think about it, James Marsden, the guy from Sonic, who seems like his big movies are when he's with like a cartoon or animated character, which is horrible because I like him. He's pretty good. He should have been Hal Jordan in the Green Lantern. But I digress. Anyways, I started thinking about Easter movies, and besides the Ten Commandments, I don't consider Dogma an Easter movie, right? Yeah, it's just weird. But there is one though that it's not an Easter movie, but because of the everything around it, it kind of is. Well, it is, I guess, if you think about it. That's Monty Python's The Life of Brian. I don't know if you've ever seen it. I don't know if you've ever seen The Life of Brian. I recommend it. I even because it's not blasphemy towards the church. It's just right. It kind of I feel okay. Just I don't think I'm spoiling anything to say the start, but you know, it's also a movie that's about 50 years old. So you know, put it in the comments if you got an issue with that. Right, and it was like the three wise men show up at the wrong house. Instead of Jesus that's there, it's Brian, right? And then the mom puts in there that he's the Messiah. So it's kind of like you have Jesus's journey, then you have Brian kind of like paralleling that as the guy who people think might be the Messiah. And I tell you, it's one of the best. It's one of the best movies. Comedy wise, I mean, like I like. Okay, granted, I like the Holy Grail. I kind of like those kind of shows, but it gets dated too, right? I use Canadian no-name cheese because fuck those Americans. All right. Unless you're subscribing, then thank you. No. yeah, we go no name, we go all that kind of stuff because that's just how we do it. Luckily for us, um, things are pretty manageable. But anyways, right? So Life of Brian, it's a pretty good show. I really like it, and it's got one of the songs. And I got thinking about it because I watched an interview with Eric Idle, who's one of Monty Python, who was a part of the movie. Said that the song at the end, a lot of people request at their funerals, and I was like, that's kind of morbid. But then then when you watch it and you see the video, the song is "Always Look on the Bright Side of Life," and I mean, they don't really make comedies like that anymore. Like they really don't. Um, okay, so what I'm doing is this. I cut up some potatoes because we got to cut up some potatoes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to layer the pan. One's going to have onions in them, one isn't, just because not everyone likes onions. I have a son who I think would like onions. I think he's just in his head. He doesn't like them. It's kind of like, I don't like mushrooms, but then if you make something has mushrooms in it and they don't know, they'll eat it, right? Then they'll be like, oh, that's so gross. Ah, well, it wasn't gross until you knew it was there. Now, it doesn't mean that things can't be gross. It's like, oh, you know, you might have noticed that as I make this, I do not have a hairnet on. And I'll tell you why. Number one, this is my kitchen and I'm not selling this food. And number two, I'm okay eating my own hair or someone else's if they ask me nicely. But I figure too, if you're eating my food and you get a piece of my hair, then clearly you know how much of myself I put into making that a fantastic meal. Yep. And plus too, I think, I don't know about those beard nets. Anyways. Oh, I hear Jolene from Dolly Parton playing in the background, which is... Dolly Parton gets a lot of love, but not enough love. But she's pretty cool for like an old gal like that. She's not young either. Like her big movie, The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, 9 to 5, all that jazz. I went from not being born to like 2. And she's still out there singing, kinda. Anyways, so what we do here is I follow the recipe, which is something that I'm not normally known to do. But the recipe was written in a different language. So while I can kind of make out the ingredients, I have to guess on everything else. So it's a recipe. It's ingredient feng shui. No, I don't know what I would call that. Well, I got some ideas though. But no. So anyways, yeah, there's not many Easter movies, which kind of makes sense, right? Like the Passion of the Christ. Like that's not a. I'm all. You know what? I am not disparaging anything, but you know, that's a pretty gruesome tale, right? It's one everyone should know, just like I think everybody should know everybody's religion like that. I know you got issues with people from Belgium. I don't get it. But no, I think that's the case. I think those, you should learn about other people's stuff. Because if not, like, I'm not saying Steven's better. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that everyone from we already celebrate people's history and cultures except when it comes to religion because your religion's wrong. I don't really like that. Just because who are you to say, right? But anyways, and if you want to get technical, I always thought it had something in there about judging people. Maybe I'm just, just old-fashioned. No, it's not true. You can ask a lot of people and they'll say that guy's a dick. But it's kind of funny though because I think I'm a dick for good. That's why I do this channel. It's because we need to be a dick for good. As I stand here using a knife to throw butter in a pan. All right. Clearly, I've measured that out, as you can tell. And I had washed my hands before, but it goes back to the rule where I'm eating this. Okay. That was just Unreal. Oh, we got some Tom Jones playing. It's Easter coming up. Yeah, I haven't really made these before. I'll be honest. I'm kind of doing this on a whim. But I also think that if you fortune favors the bold, and even though I may be as single as a monk in a lighthouse, I am trying to pick up some new skills. Okay? So as I said before, one has onion, one doesn't. So there you go. Right? We'll put those in there. And yeah, we'll do that. Did Richard Simmons die? I think he did. I don't think he's coming back today if he did die. And I don't know. I was just thinking that was just random, and I made a bad joke to break the awkward tension, which is something that happens. That's why I'm so good at like meeting people's fans. Anyways, it's crazy, man. Went by my work today just because I want just to check it out because it's downtown, and got to meet the neighbors, which was nice. But there was people out all around at like 9 in the morning. Like not like shopping or anything like that. Just like yeah. And there's a spot right behind downtown, right across from City Hall, where a couple Saturdays ago you could see a fire from a block away. They had this little kind of like there's a little like it's a building, but it's got parking underneath it, and no one parks there. You look in there, and it's like it's not a good scene. Friday morning, there was bylaw was there, so that's good. I thought I got there 8:30. I'm like, all right, bylaw's take care of it. I could hear Eminem just cranked. They just had it right, and they were like, yeah, like they're partying hard, and it was 8:30 in the morning, right? So whatever. I should point out I greased these pans beforehand. Yeah. So I thought that, and it's like like, and I'm not being like, we got to do something. I'm not doing that, but I mean, like, look, there's obviously people struggling, and if you're struggling and you think no one cares, you're not going to give a shit about anything either. We were all teenagers once, were we not? Right? So, and it's like, I know it's Cheese Whiz. I'm cheating. I hate Cheese Whiz, but I want to get rid of it. And I figure, who better than your kids to eat your Cheese Whiz? And I refuse to buy any more at like $15 a jar or whatever it was. It was $12.99 at Superstore, if I'm not mistaken. That's insane, right? It's easier to make marmalade. I think my kids are just gonna, and I'm not, and I'm going sugar free, which will be all over this channel in a bit. As I, yep, totally doing that. Because I'm 49 and I feel like I want to see 89, man. And anything's possible. But you go downtown and it's just like breaks your heart, man. Like, it's just I know Mando, come on. Mando's got the Sunday morning coming down. Don't worry. Mando is a man of honor, and he was dealt wrong by one of his bitches. So he's a little not himself this morning. But that's okay. Luckily, he's been taken care of, so there'll be no little Mandos coming around. Yeah. Pretty sure Richard Simmons is dead. Okay, so basically, what else we got happening is, social issues are tough, man. How do you navigate through all those? You can't. You just can't, because there's always something up, and there's always something no one's gonna like. You know, I always, the movies always amaze me. Number one, because anyone who's divorced, I'm sure enjoys when you see like you're watching a Marvel movie with your kid, and it has Paul Rudd and his ex-wife on there. And they're like best friends, right? Even though she divorced him when he went to prison because he was getting money for her. But okay. And then you go, and then it's like, oh, they're like old friends and they're cracking jokes, and I'm like, are you kidding? If that was real life, it would be. And if Paul Rudd was a superhero, his ex-wife would be the one trying to kill him, or vice versa. So I mean, I find, I'm kind of fortunate, can work together for the kid, and that's what you got to do. But movies really don't put an accurate portrayal on it. And I haven't even watched too much movies lately, but I listen to a lot of older music, and due to copyrights, I can't play a lot. That's why I don't do graphics or show shit, even though I'm starting to get a little more comfortable with some of the weird stuff on there. But yeah, like there's a song, just like you think like Trooper, okay, the Chilliwack, Triumph. There's a cover out by Dee Snider, who was the lead singer, and probably still is, I'm sure, of Twisted Sister. Does a version of Lay It on the Line. And it's good. Like, it's a good one. And I mean, like, you see guys like, growing up, I always thought Meatloaf was cool, right? And I think he probably still is. But then he was on Celebrity Apprentice, and he was crying, yelling at Gary Busey, and it just, like, it loses the magic, okay? Like, I know don't meet your idols, but I mean, like, they're human, I don't think, well, maybe he is, but I don't think Ozzy Osbourne is at home right now eating a live bat, right? Like, I mean, there's, because that was awful. I always found Gary Busey quite humorous, but after that, I was like, this is kind of sad, And then you got Meatloaf crying, right? And Gary Busey, like mind effing him, right? He's like an old Jedi mind trick, the whole thing. It's like, you did that on purpose, Gary, and Gary's like, just like, you know what I mean? Where it's like, just admit it, and we all quiet. Then he'll go, no, and now he's like buttermilk sausage or whatever the hell. Like that guy won an Oscar, man, for Buddy Holly. Like that was and he did his own singing, he did all that kind of stuff. Like the guy, he's got some talent, but when it's you and Meatloaf, Dee Snider, Lou Ferrigno, Lisa Lampanelli, oh man, oh I can't remember her, but she's awesome. Harry Hamlin's wife, no, she's awesome. Lisa, oh, she's very very cute. I like her. She's a good actress. She's funny. She's the total package. Okay. I can't remember what her name is now. It's not Lisa Remini. Oh, I fucking hate that Kevin James guy. Anyways. So what I'm doing is this. I'm just cutting these up. And again, trying to make them about a quarter of an inch thick. And we're not going to load them up today. But we got some, right? We're going to load the cheese up, stuff like that. I don't want it to get where it's not. And I don't want to kill anyone either. Using my keen eyes of observation. Before you ask, I do have measuring spoons and cups and all those utensils. They're in the cupboard behind me, but I'm not the. I shall get to them at some point here, right? Yeah, I don't like that. I don't know if you can hear in the background, but I have some Offspring playing. Get a job. I like that song. My friend's got a girlfriend, man. He hates of it. And then later on, it's like, my friend's got a boyfriend, man. He hates that thing. Because that's the way it should be, man. It's the same. Yeah, but I think, Easter is kind of, like I said, not super religious. But I mean, a lot of people today is a very, very sacred day. And we want to respect that for everybody. And if you don't, and if you're not, it's like, it's like anything else, I think. You don't have to celebrate it, but just be respectful of other people's beliefs. And I think that's where you start to make some judgments here. So, like, man, this is weird, but I had a conversation with a friend of mine about religion, and he would say he's not a scholar, but he's well read on the subject, and he knows a lot about scriptures and all that kind of stuff. And for some reason, I can't upload that interview. So I'm going to try to see if I can't maybe do some clips of it, just to maybe be like, because it's a unique point of view, and I like to learn about that kind of stuff. Like I said, like, before you hate something, it'd be kind of nice to know what it's about, right? Before it becomes something that it's really not, right? Now, I'm going to say, I don't think anyone's watching this whole thing while I'm cutting these potatoes, right? But I was thinking of something else today, man. It's hard to date at a certain age. And I mean, that's why you got to be comfortable with yourself. And I'll be honest, man, I like where I live. I like my job. I really like my job. It's been a weird couple of years. And, like, there's been tests in ways that I wasn't expecting. And I've learned a really valuable life lessons about trust and people's interests. And, if they don't align with yours, okay. But there's a difference between honor and dishonor, and it ain't just the three letters, right? And I don't know, and I'm not one of those guys who's like, oh, this happened, blah, blah, blah. Because it's not about anything like that. I'm not talking about anything in particular. I'm just talking about the fact that, I don't know, like I said, maybe I'm a little more Old Testament, but I believe you can forgive, you can forget. No, you can't really, you can kind of forgive, but you can tolerate, and you can move on. That's what I think. Do you forget? Nope. Nope, never. Because in my mind, and I'll be 100% honest here, same thing's going to happen. The exact same thing's going to happen. Okay, so again, I use no-name powder. And again, using the keen power of observation. I know, every cook in the audience is like, what the hell? Yeah. I hope Gordon Ramsay isn't a subscriber for this one. Man, or even, man. Maybe I need to reach out to Walk with Yen. Maybe you can cut me through here. Feeling that. But that's just kind of how things are, man. That's where we're at in the world, I guess. It's just like, there's only so much you can do. There's only, that's something like there's a lot of good people working to try to help social change. I spend a lot of time downtown, and I mean, like Friday, You got people yelling down the street. You had someone walking home from work. They got stabbed in the head. And everyone's like, Mayor, you got to do something. I'm like, well, yeah, but it's like the guy's not going to be sleeping in his car downtown to keep it safe either, right? Like we need to come up with a solution here, not have it be just something that's based in what ifs or blaming, because that's what eats up a lot of time. It's blaming, and it's okay. Again, measured to perfection. So again, it's like those moments are hard. How do you deal with those moments, man? How do you come out of that where you want to be, right? And if you're thinking, and that, but it all gets hung up in, I knew this from the beginning, blah blah blah. We're beyond that now, and that's what I think. That's kind of what I'm liking about it. It's like, look, we're not focusing on what happened, a year ago, 2 years ago anymore. We got this in front of us. We're going to deal with this issue. We're going to go. I mean, that's how it has to go, and that's the way I see it anyway. It's weird. It's like life kind of changes your view. And I know when I was younger, I wouldn't say shit if my mouth is full of it. Horrible expression, right up with their shit-eating grin. So it's just like, what do you do about that stuff? How do you, So I mean, like, things are different, and I mean, I believe even if you disagree, that's okay. But at least you're having a discussion and a dialogue. But have it be meaningful. A lot of stuff is just me. Oh, it's me versus you. Yeah, a lot of stuff it's me versus you, because then we can keep doing this, and no one actually has to worry or see what the actual issues are. I know, eh? Vegas does it all the time, man. It's sleight of hand, right? You don't have to be Penn and Teller to distract folks that are easily distractible. And I mean, a lot of times I think that I think everybody wants a solution. I think sometimes the reasons for that are different. That's what I think. Like I know downtown they want something done because they're tired of. I know we're cleaning shit out of our doorways downtown. I don't like that. The secretary, she gets there before me most days, and right, I don't want her picking up like needles. I don't want her accidentally getting poked with something down there, and that's part of the issue, right? And like, how do you handle that stuff? At what point does that become, and I mean, and they're working on it. So this isn't we got to do something, man, for the children. Sorry, that's one of my favorite things people say, because it's not. It's for you. But you're hiding behind that because you want people to see, look how selfless you are. That's, you know what? I'm going to start some of my workplace stuff. I touched base on it in the video I did, and I'll put a link to it here about Don Quixote in the workplace. Goes corporate. I think that's what it said, right? Because that's what happens. So I started thinking about, what would be something kind of similar to that. And that's what it is. So I can't say too much about that yet. But I do like the fact that there's people out there that are just, it's weird. I think if you think I'm talking about you, I don't understand that. That's just kind of funny. And then it's funny because if people, number one, why would I do that? Right? I'll probably be a face. Right? And then secondly, oh man, can't find the hole, which is the first time that's ever happened to me. Wait, all right. Hey-o. I like old humor. I always think of Ed McMahon. But no, so no, we'll leave that stuff there. But for the most part, this is what we got. So I put some flour in, measured to perfection, right? There's potatoes, onions, this one. I should have said this earlier, but I had greased the pan just because we don't need it to stick to that. I put the flour in to kind of thicken it up so it kind of absorbs a lot of moisture. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this up. We got Terry Jacks playing on there. Well wishes. My daughter's mom, a little under the weather, feeling better. So that's good. I bet her and her husband and family are very relieved, as we all are. But yeah, so this is what we got. I've got this right here. Beautiful mixture of potatoes, onions, cheese, flour, some oil around there to make sure it doesn't stick. And of course, the main ingredient, my hair. No, love. Love. From the bottomless well, it is my heart. And this is the other one. No onion, but made the same because I have codependency issues too. And I can't say make your own damn fucking scallop potatoes. And I don't even know who's coming. That's the thing, right? I donate some of this. Believe it or not, I donate some of this food. I don't share that a lot, and I probably should now. But I want to say I'm going to put these in the oven. I'm going to figure out the temperature. I think it's about 375 for about hour and a half, 2 hours, maybe. I'm going to double check that. But this is what it looks like. This is onions cut up in a bowl. This is me, the Unemployable Counselor. Thanks for watching this today. We're not done yet. We'll be back and we'll show you the finished product. But if you want to get the recipe, put it in the comments because I'm sure everyone's going to want this one. Mainly, it's flour, cheese, potatoes, onions, oil, pan, oven, cook, eat. If you want specific directions or instructions, please let me know. And we'll be back shortly to show you the finished product. All right. See you in a little bit. Hey, hello. Hi. Thanks for coming back. I'm kind of curious what this looks like, and I bet you are too. So it's been about 2 hours. I did do a few different things. I added some seasoning to it, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, that sort of stuff. I drove to the other side of town, got some rare herbs from an old witch. So just a little bit, she said. So I'm hoping we'll be able to taste the difference. I'm assuming it's a hickory, but I guess it'll be an earthy taste, I'm assuming. Anyways, we're going to check it out right now. So that's what we got. So I wrapped it up in tin foil, and I slowly, after some crusting and a couple of drinks, I slid it in the oven. And now we're going to check this out and see what it looks like as we pull it out of the oven, which is kind of how that goes. Whatever you put in, you got to pull out at some point. Ooh, this one, of course, well, man, it's kind of greasy, perhaps. This one is all, there's no onion in this bad boy. Oh, man. Considering how I measured everything to perfection, all right. See, there you go. Let that cool off. We'll give her a good mix. Ooh, look at that. All right. Shall we look at the other one? Shall we check out the other one? Okay, let's check out the other one. Man, one time I remember I was going to the zoo, and it was really sad because we were going to go see the panda bears, but the panda bear had passed away. But I got to tell you, in the cafeteria, those are the best panda steaks I ever ate. It's beautiful. Oh, look at that. I think they're not quite done yet. As you can see, the mixture between onion, potato is a blend. They're not that far different. They're like kind of like, they're like siblings that have different parents, right? Or one similar parent. Because if they had different parents, they wouldn't be parents at all. This has been an Easter message. All right. So that's that. We're going to put it back in. I'm not doing another video because I'm tired. And I just wanted to thank everyone for watching all this stuff. Are you not entertained? Okay. We'll catch you later. Thank you very much. For any unemployable counselor, if you haven't already, subscribe and share to everyone, even those you don't like. Probably especially those you don't like. It seems like that kind of gift. And catch you on the flip side. Take care.